I'm going to say Reason Gaming 2-0, but I'm expecting another close one.
I mean, we can only hope. Something else that I'm not sure if we've actually managed to mention yet is that CAZ are playing with a stand-in today, so maybe that's going to have some bearing on it as well. If I am correct, it is Genko standing in for Cryptics tonight, so always an issue on both of the sides. Maybe just the advantage Reason needs, but we do see the knife round picked up pretty quickly by CAZ. And they are going to be going straight in on that T side. Nope, CT side.
Yeah, okay. Let's see what we got.
I'm trying to figure it out at the moment. The name's at the top. Finally switching, yeah. So, picking CT side. It's an interesting choice, I think.
It is, yeah, especially on Reason's map. You'd expect that they have a few things in the tank for their T side to try and rack up as many rounds as they possibly can, but we shall just have to see. Going fast in the drop down already, they've got one. Keats has got two, Keats has got three. Nice one there. Robin gets one. Dip aren't able to pick down Genko as he's out in the chicken coop. Again, it's another one of those tradey positions. You can usually get one from there before they find you, but as soon as they know where you're coming from, you're going to get picked up pretty easily. So I think that was maybe the best position for them to be holding from going forward. Shaq maybe go try and get Connor on the rotate, but again, Shaq misses opportunity. Does get Connor through the door, in fact, so nice work there, but it's going to be a tough ask for him. Dipan goes in and tries to take him down, so they've got to be careful. They don't go one at a time on him here and just wait him out. I think they've realised it now, and they are going to play it way more passive than they were initially first thinking. But actually, no, they're going on the hunt, maybe just knowing that they've got enough time now as they try and chase him down. Jack's got another one, and Faith missing shots all around, so Jack gets four, wipes out the Reason team, but they get the round, they get the money for the bomb, they get all the important stuff, and they are now going to try and push on from here straight away. Got control of that drop down area, which could end up being key as this thing goes forward, and let's see what they can do from here now on. Yeah,
I'm interested to see what they can do actually, because you can see CAZ buying up armor on 3 of their players, and actually a UMP on Jack using the money from the 4K to his advantage heavily. And Reason are coming into it, I think, ill prepared. 3 Mac 10s on their side, so if they run into anybody with the armor, gonna have a fair few issues. Another thing, you were talking about drop, you were talking about how crucial it can be. We see CAZ realizing that after the first, and we see them taking a step to make sure it remains in their control. They've got the boost going into it, they chuck the smoke up to start things off, and it might just put them in the perfect position. Unfortunately, not going to be working out initially. Sliggy comes in, Tech 9 in hand, finds himself a couple, and the Mac 10 is going to be effective as well. Just all the frags coming in on the side of Reason this round. Nothing gained back yet, and Jack left to run away. I'm assuming saving that SMG into the next round if he can. The issue for him at the moment is Reason have 5 players left alive. 3 of them with essentially disposable weapons, and I'd be surprised if they didn't go for a little bit of a hunt here.
Yeah, maybe. I guess, checking the tower is one place you might look if you know that someone's going on the save. It's kind of tough to dig someone out there unless you go for the pincer movement. I'm surprised, after Chat going huge 4v1 in the last round, even though he didn't pick things up, he might have been tempted to go for this one, but being a team player, keeping hold of this weapon and thinking about it, how much money has he got in the bank? Well, okay, only $250 plus whatever he ends up saving through, so 1 smoke, head armor, and this UMP. Does get a couple of exit frags, bonus money for getting the kills with the SMG, 200% money for it, so that would have been a nice way to boost his bank, but Reason being sensible, they haven't gone too aggressive on it. Faith going straight for the AK then. No rebuys needed, so they are just going to stick with what they've got for the most part. Looks like Sliggy going for a Tech 9. Yep. Let's see what we got here then.
And it's just Sliggy saving for that AWP, isn't it? Tech 9 in the last round effective. Tech 9 this round probably going to be more so as CAZ. They've only got 1 player with armor, and this one should just be a complete mop-up, pushing fast into the B site and finding those frags nicely. The Mac 10's doing a lot of damage and continuing to earn so much money. And just another round where CAZ didn't have a chance. 5 frags come in, not a single man lost on the side of Reason. The first 3 rounds going their way with these, and they're going to be left with just an enormous amount of money to take into this one. So potentially going to be seeing the AWP come out here. If not that, then they're definitely going to have the money into the next couple of rounds as well. Just a great position to be in, and we do see everything upgraded everything starting off as you'd expect. CAZ going to be upgrading as well onto the M4s into the first gun, but going to be a little bit lacking in other areas. Only one defuse kit on Shaq. A couple of smokes, but not really enough to stave them off. So if we see Reason draw this one out, take it a little bit slow, we might actually be able, or they might rather actually be able to start this off 4-0.
Yeah, it is certainly possible. We're seeing CAZ with the 2 players over towards the A, one side, one sort of going through into the connector. Just Robin flying solo in the drop down. I think this is something they might have to look out for if Reason can expose that drop down area. Gives you so many options. You can just sit and wait for the rotates. They could easily go and throw a fairly solid sort of fake over towards A, draw players out from the B, drop a player into drop down, which should be completely clear, and then they could end up cutting down a couple of players on the rotate from behind potentially. That's a good little opening strat you could maybe think about. 45 seconds left to go on the clock. No real commitment to anything just yet coming in from Reason, but I think they are actually thinking about some kind of A. He just left over to throw a bit of misdirection over towards the B, and he's going to have a decent angle to work in, try and get a pick as Chak takes down Connor. So it's all kicking off over towards the A site, and Chak's got his second. Sliggy's been spotted as well, so I think they know that it is a fake, and it's all coming towards in the A, and Sliggy now has to get on his bike and try and help out his teammates. Both out in the open, he gets flashed out, and he's got Chak to find, does find Chak. He's got Dipan with a frag as well. Dipan with his second with the Orc taking down Robin, and they could bring this thing home. Dipan again, going huge, 3 frags for him. And it's now Boaster trying to come out. They're both low HP. He's got to breathe on either one of these 2 players. But I don't think it matters. It's going to be tough. They've got a great angle. They've pretty much got a crossfire on him. And they've just got to sit in and bring the guy out.
I mean, hopefully they can do that. But we are going to be seeing Boaster putting himself in a great position and finding the first frag as well. So Baif left now. And as you said, only has to breathe on him to find it. And is going to be doing just that. 1 bullet with the M4 enough to find himself the final frag in the round, and enough time left for him to get that defuse even without a kit. So CAZ managed to come back into the round despite the 2v1 situation, managed to find themselves the first and at least give a little bit of a chance to establish that early presence on the CT side that they are going to be looking for. Money going to be a little bit low into this one. Reason's still going to be on a significant amount though, so still a tough road ahead.
A chance to maybe force a reset. And it's tough to be critical of it after Dipan went and pretty much went solo on that thing. But yeah, maybe if both had just peaked their angle at the same time as Boaster was walking around and pretty much gone for a trade, almost like a bait as such, then it might have been enough to pick up that round. But I can kind of see why he's thinking just sit in, just play for time as best you can, expect they might not have a kit, know you're on 10 HP. So I can see why he played it the way he did, but maybe hindsight is a wonderful thing, and being a little more aggressive might have been a half-decent play, but it doesn't matter for Reason. They've still got the chance to force a reset. See, Jenko and Jacob still unable to put a frag on the board in the early stages of this second map. 5th round of the first half. A light reset is available for Reason if they are able to pick this one up and drop CAZ back down to $1,400, which would be quite crippling for them actually, because they have scrubbed things together as best they can here. Sliggy taking an AUT shot, he's been taken down to 12 points of health, but they've got pretty much full control of where they want to be working here up towards A. Connor, now he might have a play. He's got the weapon of range, but Shaq, they're in a spray down. Dipan, Keita and Connor get frags, and Dipan, he's going huge. That's his second of the round as he takes down Jacob. Robin's found as well by Keita, and wow, that was a very, very strong take in the end. It all happened in a bit of a blur.
Yeah, and it's going to be putting Reason in exactly the position they want to be in. Another anti-eco for them, and some more low-level weapons on the board. Keita going to be taking the Mac 10 into this one. Probably not the best idea, but going to be good anyway, just as a scout, if nothing else. Obviously able to push into the sites before the rest of his team, risk his life just that little bit more than others may be comfortable doing, as he doesn't have as much to lose. CAZ going to be putting a lot into this, though. They have armor on every single player. They have a decent amount of pistols. The utility really going to be the thing that could bite them here, but obviously in these sort of rounds, it's not going to be your main focus. Just trying to play those close angles and see what frags they can get. Reason, though, they're doing exactly what you need to. They're sitting back, taking things slow, and just waiting to see what sort of aggression comes their way. and potentially going to be finding it. I mean, you got Chak on the other side of the map, I think flirting with the idea of heading out a little bit further. Going to be met with, well, going to be met with some punishment if he decides to. Baif watching there. The rest of his team just setting up over towards the B site where they are going to be running into 4 players, and indeed they are going to be running into it. Keita getting himself set up, throwing those nades over and pushing himself in. Manages to pick up one, but not going to be getting any more of that. Instead, just going to be trades across the board into a 2 versus 2, and CAZ still holding strong. Robin coming in with another frag, manages to take Baif down with that AK he's recovered, and actually leaves it in a great situation for the moment, as it is just going to be Connor in a 1 versus 2, AK in hand, seeing what he can do, and being forced to play in an uncomfortable situation. Gets that smoke down, drops the molly as well, bomb in hand, so definitely the chance for the plant. It's what he can do after that that's going to matter. And it might be a little too much of a task, as Robin is going to be coming in from an awkward angle. So he's going to have a player either side of him just hunting for his head. And if they coordinate it right, it's looking like a good chance for them to come straight back in with a second round.
And that's exactly what they do, and coordinate it perfectly. Connor maybe missed the opportunity. He'd taken Chak down to 45 points of health over towards the door, but was a little bit spray happy with his AK, and if he'd just been able to click and take his head off there, it would have been a different story, and he wouldn't have had players coming in from 2 different angles. Could have played that one slightly differently. But CAZ, you know, they're flirting with a fairly costly situation here as far as their economy goes. Pick up another one, but got to be careful they don't get traded straight back. I guess for a reason as well, they want to try and put their foot on the gas and put as many rounds together as they can, because if it keeps trading backwards and forwards, then it's only going to be a narrow victory on T side, and CAZ might end up racking up enough rounds on their CT to bring this thing home. So they've got to be careful here, both of these teams, you know, in fragile positions. And you know, for CAZ, you know, the economy is going to start feeling the squeeze very quickly. Keita takes down Chak, who I think is maybe getting a little bit too peaky over towards that A site, and they've got to be careful with that. As great as he's been coming in on the rotate, you know, maybe they need him to stay alive to be able to put those plays together, as Connor and Keita doing some serious damage. Jacob goes down, and Robin also down. So it's 5 versus 2, chance for the plant to come in. Going to be, again, a fairly comfortable round, you'd suggest, for reason, and force CAZ back to a $1,400 injection of cash after losing this one, if it does go that way.
I mean, it seems like it might at the moment. 5 versus 2, and not a great situation for them to be in. You can see Jenko just heading away. Boaster not gonna have that sort of luxury, in a bit of an uncomfortable position, just hoping he can maybe pick something up here, and gonna be given the chance as well. Finds dip arm, but not gonna be able to take any more than that, as Connor does shut him down. So 1 weapon lost. It is only gonna be the FAMAS, but still a little bit of money wasted there. Not in a position where he could have done anything else, and it's gonna be Jenko left, AK in hand, hoping that he can hold on to it until the end of the round, and probably gonna get that chance as well. As you said, gonna be needed, as they're not looking like they're gonna be on a strong buy into this one. 3 players below $2,000, 2 of them gonna have a little bit, but it's gonna be pistols once more, armor again, and another buy I'm not comfortable with. I mean, they've actually managed to do more than I thought. We see FAMAS is coming out. It's just a little bit too worrying. I think just hoping they can do what they did in the round before the last and take an unlikely buy through to a victory. It's just, in my opinion, that's a bit too much of a dangerous game to play, and it could potentially leave them in another position where they pick one up, manage to drop the next, and force themselves back down into these tough buys.
Yes, it's awkward, and it kind of feels like general pattern in CS these days is that teams are worried about doing that full eco. Is even if there is some kind of eco, it's like some kind of force or upgraded pistols or something like that. You know, not to take it away from these teams, because also you see plenty of times when out of these situations where it is an eco or something really scrubby with upgrade pistols, those end up making the difference and bringing the thing home. But you could kind of argue, is throwing the money and investing in it any different to just running in with your normal pistols? If you're on point with your aim, then surely it shouldn't make any odds. So, yeah, and sometimes you might think, all right, our money is screwed. We just need to go full eco, get as much as we can in, and kind of just let the loss bonus build up a little bit, and just go for a full buy next time around. And And maybe that's something they need to think about going forward. But it's 25 seconds left to go on the clock. And Reese haven't left a lot of time. This is Jacob. Gets the 2 players out, drop down. And I have been proven wrong, potentially. Sliggy gets 2. And our bait goes down to Jenko as well. So Sliggy against 3. 10 seconds left to go to get a bomb plant or to pick up all of these remaining 3 players who are all gunning for him. Robin comes in on the wraparound and does pick the thing up. So I stand corrected to hold my hands up.
Yeah, and with 3 players alive at the end of that round, they might actually have enough to put something decent forward into this round. And it looks like it is going to be just that. More rifles coming out, so a full buy on the side of Reason. No, sorry, on the side of CAZ. Actually met by a full buy on the side of Reason as well, with the exception of Keita, who's going to be on that Tech 9. Still a decent chance, especially if they can play those close ranges, but it's going to be another push towards that B site. And I know that it's the favored. I know it's the favored site on this map. It's just the last didn't go well for them, and they're going to have to hope that they can do something different. I'm hoping to see some more early aggression on this one because, as you pointed out in the last round, they didn't leave much time. They didn't give themselves a great chance, and they are going to be doing just that. Trying to remedy their issues, trying to push themselves through, but the frag's obviously going in their favor, at least to start things off. 3 coming in extremely quickly for the side of CAZ, and another awful position for Reason. Sliggy dropping as well, who's just used the man with the Tech 9. And unfortunately, he is going to be finding no more than 1. So an unfortunate round for them, and CAZ with a chance to establish some sort of economy here. They managed to find themselves a 4th. They managed to put 2 together in a row, and they're going to be up against what I would hope to see as an eco from Reason. They seem a lot more invested in building the economy up, so we're not going to be seeing anything too crazy out of them. Just some pistols and a flashbang. It's tough. They're probably going to lose this round. We probably will see this one tied up here, but it's completely necessary, and it will give them the money they need into the next, hopefully.
That's going to be the plan. Lots of action in mid, and Jacob with the spray down. He has the chance. He gets 2 before he's traded off. So that's fairly successful all in all against a bunch of on-rushing terrorists. Robin with 1, Shaq, and then Robin cleans up again. So nice and easy. All in all, only 1 casualty, and that's Jacob going down. And look at the cash now for CAZ. They've got 5 grand, 7 grand, a couple of them, and they're just making use of these recovered AKs that they've got. So we see this thing go back even, and for the most part, if you see a team favouring this getting on T side, they're going to end up winning out on T side. But what a result this is turning out to be for CAZ. They can keep this thing going, keep the momentum as Reason on the full buy with the AKs, but they've got very little to put together. They can barely get a Starbucks between them with the cash that they've got left in their pockets, with 1 minute and 30 left to go in the 11th round of the second map. And we saw Reason Gaming steal 1 away from CAZ on their map choice, Mirage, in the first. Could be seeing the same thing again, potentially. Sliggy thinking about getting control, the drop down. Not yet, though. He's got Robin below him, and they haven't had too much success from coming out of there, so let's see what their plan is. But it's like a delay strat over towards A. Sliggy, he's just going to be on, drop down, rotate, try and get in from behind when these guys make their move on A to try and catch a few players on the rotate in from behind. And Chak, he's marshalling the mid area down to 10 HP, so he could be the first to go.
Quite easily could be, though. It's going to be Jacob taken out first. Connor doing a great job to find that one, and they're just going to be barreling onto this site. Chak now looking like he might be the second to drop. 15 HP left on him before he dies. And only 1 frag coming in on the trade. Robin manages to pick at least 1 up, and it's not going to be any more than that. Closer with a second, sorry. But no chance really in the round. A little bit disappointing. Reason just establishing their dominance once again. They come in, take the lead back, and don't really want to give CAZ a chance into this one. They found themselves some rounds. They just, I don't know, they don't seem to be able to continue finding them in a row. They're going to have a little bit more of a chance on this one again. They do have the money to buy up. But potentially another chance to see a reset, another chance to see Reason just pull ahead and find themselves in that position they need to on the T side.
Yeah, they sure do. And Reason have got to be careful, though. They've maybe already given away about as many rounds as they want to be giving away, and there's Jacob again taking the pick, and there's 2 of them forced up a little bit aggressive on the side. That's a little bit, well, maybe a little bit reckless to a point. I know it's not reckless if you're not going out and pushing aggressively somewhere, but pushing up in positions where you're going to get a trade at best is maybe a little questionable, and they've made it pay though. They're doing okay with those positions, and it's not going too bad. Let's see, minute left to go on the clock. Sliggy might have some action if he wants to step out onto mid. He's going to have to recover that bomb. It's been lost on the ramp. He's got Jacob close, and it's actually Jenko with the AWP picks up the frag before Jacob even gets a chance to walk that corner. Dippan try to do what he can, and it's not the first time we've seen him step out and collect frags in bunches on this map. He's done it a couple of times now, maybe 2 or 3, and he's going to try and play for it again. Keita with the frag, so they are still in this one, and Dippan narrowly misses that shot on Robin, I think it was, who grabs him. Jenko cleans up, and straight away it's traded back, and Reason probably can't afford to buy again.
I mean, this one looking like it might be a slog at the moment. 6-6, and neither team really seeming able to establish any sort of actual feasible lead. I mean, we see one round answered back almost instantly. Reason just put in a position they couldn't work themselves out of in the last, and as you said, going to be in a bad place coming into this one as well. They have the Tech 9s, they have that armor, and a little bit of utility as well. But they're just going to be going for a fast play towards A and seeing what they're doing. Actually, I'm knocking it, but they make it work to start things off. They've coming straight in with one. Robin going to be responding, but the bomb's already on site and going to be going down fast as well. Connor doing a great job to get that started and leaving CAZ in a position that they do not want to fight from. All of them coming in from B at the moment and just seeing what frags they can take between them. But they're going to be having this one to deal with as well from behind. Only manages to find one with the time he is allowed. And no more going to be coming out. Reason, unfortunately, I think deciding to go for some peeks there. Jacob putting the pressure on. But just giving their lives away. When you got those pistols in that position, you just want to sit tight on the site and make sure that nobody can do anything about it without coming straight into you. Find the damage you can. Try and take economy away from them as well as giving it onto yourselves and put yourself in a great position. Fortunately, they found the bomb plant. Unfortunately, they didn't find a huge amount of damage, so it is just going to be another buy round into this one. Another buy round where Reason don't really have the advantage. Utility on them. Looking decent with a couple of smokes, but not a huge amount more than that. They're going to be left in a position again where they're just going to be trying to help that B site, trying to see what they can get done there as CAZ start to look stronger and stronger.
Yeah, and I was on board with Dippan in that last round. He got himself into drop down. He's playing that drop down rotate role for Reason, just waiting for the rotates to come in, then coming in from behind. Got one frag from it, completely missed his opportunity to make the others. Sort of took the AWP, pushed into close where there's 2 players up in the window, and got caught out and ended up firing off an AWP shot that was miles away from either of the 2 players in there, and he is responsible for that nade, which Jenko catches short before he picks up the frag. So it was a post-mortem nade coming in. He picks it up, or yeah, there's another word that isn't post-mortem that I should have used, but it doesn't matter because Connor and Keita have picked up 2 frags between them as they make their entry now into the B site, going back in that direction, deciding that A maybe wasn't the way to go, but now looking at it, B isn't either. Baith now has 2 players to find. He's got Chak coming in from the door, and Chak already, he's nibbling. He's an aggressive player, it seems like. Maybe too aggressive at points, but Baith uses the angle well, gets down Boaster, and he takes down Chak as well. That is huge. Reason Gaming bring it back even again, 7-7. I think CAZ might have enough rounds here, but Reason's going to try and win out half and win the pistol on CT as well if they can. Try and bring this thing home 2-0.
I mean, you're saying you think CAZ have got enough rounds? I'd have to agree with you, just based on how the map normally goes at the moment, though. I'm not so sure. The way we've been seeing this play out, it doesn't seem like either team is willing to give anything up. So we're gonna have to see an impressive T side coming out of CAZ if they really do want to establish any sort of lead. As you said, the pistol's still gonna be a factor. Reason could get the lead in there, and this round looking like it's gonna be going their way as well, as they do have the just marginally stronger buy in the sense they have 3 rifles instead of 2, and they're gonna have the first frag as well. Keita from Rock going to be finding one. Dippan comes through with a second as well, takes Boaster down, so a 2-man lead established quickly, and one of the rifles out of CAZ's hands. We're going to be seeing more players seeing what they can do. Jason and Jenko finding 1 apiece, but they're going to be responded on fairly quickly. Baith onto Jenko. Jacob taken by Connor as he was on extremely low health, and suddenly it's just Chak left in a 1v2, but he manages to make it a 1 versus 1. So now UMP in hand, he's going to have a slightly better chance and manages to do the damage as well. pistol in hand. He knows the player's low, and he is going to be taking him out. 8 rounds to CAZ on their CT side as they close that one out from yet another unlikely round. I mean, just what is happening this map?
Chat, can you stop clutching, please? You're messing up my prediction. Seriously. But take nothing away from it. He's made a couple of really, really good plays. I mean, one of them, okay, fair enough. The 4 frags in the very first round of this second map, it wasn't enough to bring the thing home, but you know, he's coming in on the rotate and doing some serious, serious damage from over towards the B site. And yeah, that's exactly what you want from those A players. As you know, more often than not, sometimes even play a solo player over towards A, especially if they like to AWP. B is where the attention needs to be, and you've got to lock down so many areas there. It's great to have that player that can come in and save you once in a while, or just give you that extra fire support if you're holding solid in the site. And he's done great work from that position when he's been called upon. So nice stuff, and CAZ end up taking a victory in the half. So 8-7 as they go on to their T side. For reason, they're going to be wanting to bring this thing home if they can, bring it home 2-0. So the crucial thing for them is to win this pistol, and I think it might come down to drop down control. Notice how easy it was for reason to blitz in on T side into drop down, and then from that point it was a very comfortable B split. So got to make sure that the same thing doesn't happen to them again.
I mean, that is something that I noticed. We saw after the first round, in the second round, they tried to establish some sort of presence there. They went for the boost, but it was the only round they really went for that. Throughout the rest of the map, as you said, it was just sort of an open area. It was free to the T's. Hopefully, Reason are going to be taking note of the fact they could take advantage of that, and going to be playing it a little bit more aggressive. But that remains to be seen, and everything's up in the air at the moment. Everything is definitely in a position where it could go either way, as this pistol round is going to mean a whole lot. If Reason take it, that's the advantage straight away on their CT side, and they can try and build off of that. If CAZ take it, then they're going to be in a great position. They'll hit themselves straight into double digits, straight to 11, and start things off strong. Finally, we're going to be getting into the second half now, as the pause, or as the match rather, has been unpaused, and we are going to get to see how this is going to go. And actually, to start things out, a raid boss on Boaster. I think we saw him being a little bit weak on the last map, but he definitely has stepped things up and is looking to be a huge presence. Dipon, though, going to be the man to start things off on this map for the side of Reason. Manages to find one. Going to be pulling off now, calling for the rotate zone. That's a lot of early information gained. He does get taken down, but the amount he managed to slow them down could just be the deciding factor in this round. We're going to be seeing CAZ continue their push in, but now more CTs ready to face them, and Kita does just that. Finds himself Boaster, takes down that raid boss, and puts them in a position where they could definitely win this. It's all going to be coming down to these frags, and right now that could go either way. Initially, though, it is going to be CAZ with the advantage. 3 versus 2. I think it's down to what they know. It's the man on site, and they do indeed. Jenko takes base down. Leaves Connor alone. He has armor, he has a kit, but he doesn't have the knowledge of where they're playing from, and he's going to have a tough time figuring that one out. You saw there, almost got caught out. Managed to find the frag, but faced with 2. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too much of a task. Does get his head ripped clean off, and CAZ continue their advantage into this second half. Take themselves the pistol round, and set themselves up for what could be a dominant T side.
Yeah, well, that's going to be their hope. They can try and do that. That's going to be pretty big for them. End up stealing one back off Reason after they lost out on their map. This is our Cobblestone, though. It's one of those maps that's played so often, UK site or UK scene-wise, that you can kind of expect that even if it's not your choice, you've put in a fair amount of time and action on it in official competitions and that sort of thing. And yeah, they'll know what the plan is. Plenty of old school players from way back in the Source days that are kicking around this UK Masters, which is great to see. And those boys were knowing it from way back in the old days when it was, you know, very much a CT-sided map, and how times have changed this time around. But you know, it's a great thing about CS is that things will always change, and we could be looking at a couple of years with things swinging straight back in the way of CT side again as these guys learn how to play things a different way. two, now three players. Oh, call it two again. Stacking up above drop down. Gonna want to try and work there and go for a B split with 50 seconds left to go on the clock, and they're going for it. Boaster takes down Sliggy as he steps in. We've got Keita up close with the scale. Interesting choice of weapon up close, but he gets one with the no scope. As Boaster makes his way around, trying to get the frag on phase. He's using the rock for cover. He's caught nice and quickly, leaving Dipar last man standing. Now he's collected frags in bunches on more than one occasion on this map. Can he do it again? Well, it'll be tough. That shotgun is going to need someone to come in close and just upgrade his weapon that way. I don't think he's going to get that opportunity unless Chak wants to try and walk in through the window. Got to watch it. Dipon's been caught, so you think Chak maybe won't be so tempted to peek in there now? Oh, but he does get caught anyway, so that's a chance to grab the MAC-10. Not a huge enough upgrade. Not enough for a weapon to decide to go and charge all the way in. You see, yeah, Dipon's going to just sit back, let this thing tick down, and it is going to be 10-7 in favour of CAZ. So second round of the second half goes in their favour. Go try and piggyback through and take it to 3-0.
Terrorists win.
Indeed, Dipon, I think making the smart choice there. Manages to obviously find that one player, but as you said, a MAC-10, not much of an upgrade from a shotgun. So he does decide to switch back and just going to be taking that into this third round. Hoping to, I think above all, just bolster his economy a little bit. I mean, if he can find one or two frags with that, it's going to set him up nicely to pick up that AWP coming into the first gun. So, I don't know, maybe that's going to be enough at the moment, though. Just going to be sitting in drop down, playing it up close and personal, and hoping somebody comes through without anything too much beforehand to clear the area out. And might have got lucky there. I think a whiffed nade towards drop saves him a little bit of HP and puts him in that position that he does definitely want to be in. Robin going to be coming in close, almost gives him the opportunity, but the Molotov was good, stopped him from being anywhere near where he wanted to, and managed to negate that frag, and it looks like we might just see CAZ take this one with extreme strength. Keita manages to find one back, but again, that's going to be the MAC-10 player over towards A, nothing more than that, so nothing really gained, and the B site going to be a little bit more cohesive of a push. Robin on his own at the moment, but the rest of his team looking to follow him shortly. Sliggy, seeing what he can do with a P250 to stop them pushing through. Almost has the chance to pick up one, as Jenko is extremely low, but can't quite find the shot, and that's going to be leaving just Keita, the man on A, with a MAC-10 in his hands, 4 players to find, and no armor to do it with. As well as that, the lack of nades, I think, just going to be forcing him to play this one for exits, and hope he can find something in the way of money, or a little bit of denied economy to CAZ towards the end of this round. Past that, it's just going to be decided in the first gun, really.
Keita eyes caught very quickly. I thought his luck might have been in. He had 3 players sort of moving in this direction, and he was just sitting out in the open. No one really sort of reacted to it, but there's going to be CAZ taking up yet another round on the board. So let's see what we got then. Reason go put a buy together. I think it's not looking too strong for them financially if they don't pick this one up. They've spent pretty much everything. Might be able to get a cheeky Team Nando's out of that, but that's pretty much it with what they've got left. And maybe they'll choose to just use Dipon over towards the A, anchor it down with the AWP, and actually Keita, who's going to be playing solo over towards the A, pushed up in the mid, so he's in trade position now, walking back. Wary about any push towards the side, but the way that CAZ have been rolling comfortably towards the B area, I think that's why they are stacking up in that kind of direction. Now looking to drift towards the mid, and Keita solo with the M4. Maybe this is an opportunity for them to make a play over in that direction, or throw a fake and just get some of these players moving away from the B site, because you can see they are worried about it. This is where all the action has been so far, pretty much. And now Keita is maybe going to be calling, and we do see a player. Who's this? That's Connor drifting away. So already this has worked quite well. Just throw that A fake, and you see now they are drifting to come and bolster this attack. But Steve takes down Robin. Chak tries to get the frag, but he doesn't do any kind of damage really. And from what looked like a perfectly set up strat from CAZ, then they're up against it. 5v4.
Yeah, and they're going to have everything against them going into this take. Obviously, you can see Jacob there trying to set himself up with the AWP, seeing if he can find that early pick, but no one's going to be presenting themselves at the beginning. Dipon's going to be the first man to peek him, finds the frag instead. They've now got the frag, going to be picking up closer and looking to see if more damage can be done. Unfortunately, it can't, and CAZ actually going to be taking 2 back just like that. Chak onto Sliggy, make sure things stay even. Connor, though, ready and quick, finds himself to, denies that bomb plant, and manages to pick Reason up around. So, they found the first gun. They're going to be leaving it with a couple of players left alive, and it is going to mean this buy might not be as strong as it otherwise could have been. But it's an in. It's something to work with into this game, and it might just give them any sort of small chance they're looking for on the CT side, especially considering the fact that CAZ's economy is not so great itself, and they're going to be left with a couple of Tech 9s into this one. Definitely not Yuan.
Far from ideal. Both up close with the Swag 7 and super effective weapon up close, sort of behind the crack of the wall towards B. And that could be pretty dangerous. And they continue with that, then here could be the bankroll for the team. You get a bit of extra money for picking up shotgun frags, so it's a useful one. It's very effective, kind of an economic purchase, and great for building money as well with the frags that you pick up. So we'll see. He's in a spot where he can do some damage as well for anyone on rushing through that corner, trying to get control of the drop down. Got Robin along the walkway, so he's going to drop back. And CAZ again have lost that one man, so advantage Reason Gaming. Want to try and continue to put some rounds on the board and at least bring this thing back even if they can, and try and upset the economy for CAZ and set them back a bit, as Robin trying to make some picks, and he's on his way back. Like 5 seconds on the clock. No real actually there is some intention now to move towards the A. 4 players for Reason stacked towards B, so Keita needs to get that early call in. There's going to be action towards the A, and here comes the rotate. Actually, Keita doing his job for the team as he picks up 1 frag, and the information's coming as well as the rotate from 2 players. Jenko tries to nail Keita and does pick him up in the end over towards the stables, but Keita stays alive just long enough as Jenko. Now he's got a tough spot as he wants to push through. He does take down Connor though, and Robin with the frag. Jenko in a spray down with Sliggy, and it's Sliggy coming out on top. 2v1. Timer runs down and Robin breaks it, and he does get 1, so that's going to be quite an expensive one for Baith, as he now can't actually afford to rebuy.
I mean, that round in my eyes probably came down to Keita more than anyone. Obviously got that initial pick over towards long, managed to start the round off well for Reason, then just held them off exactly the amount of time he needed to towards the end. They did decide to get that push in going forward, and it's a thing of beauty. They left it a little bit too late, and unfortunately couldn't get the initial entry quick enough to actually put themselves in a position to win that round. So Reason looking to stack up a couple and going to be looking good into this one as well. A little bit lackluster with the buy, but they're going to be up against nothing really great on the side of CAZ either. It's going to be mainly pistols. Robin just holding on to that AK head in the last round. Essentially, just the entire team going for the push towards the A site initially, setting themselves up for something and hoping they don't run into anything too deadly. Keita, though, could be an issue, and if Robin wants to continue to press the issue over towards long and continues to push around that corner, that could be the AK shut down quickly, and he's actually going to be going for it. Tagged down to 7 HP, but Chak manages to find the frag back quickly. Both are going to be coming in as well. And just like that, CAZ managed to take the 2-man advantage in a round I don't think anybody was expecting them to have a chance in. So now the site going to be in their favor. There is going to be smokes going down, blocking the rotates from Reason. And they're going to be in just an awful position coming back into this one. You can see Dip on there trying to establish something towards balcony, but it's not going to be going in his favor. Jacob takes him down to Tech 9. The armor not needed, apparently, on the side of CAZ. And the remaining 2 players from Reason just forced to fall off all the way to B site, try and hold on to their guns and give this round up for essentially nothing at all. CAZ making light work of them with with pistols. I'm speechless, honestly, Mark. Four men with pistols, no armor, and they do that.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat.
I mean, how do you explain that?
Not very easily. I would call it missed opportunity, to be honest, for Reason Gaming. You know, that would have been the time to really turn the screw and bring this thing home, but instead it's CAZ, who are now back in the ascendancy. And you know, for both of these teams, from that first map in particular, we've seen that they are both prone to the odd error here and there, and you know, you can maybe not put it past CAZ to do the same thing and just drop the ball somewhere along the line, who knows, but and that could be costly. It's one of those rounds. I mean, again, the first map we saw it where Reason lost the round, which was pretty much the decider. In such quick succession, they just got mowed down, considering how close the rest of the game had been. And, you know, that pretty much put pay to things. And I think it was on a bye as well, so, you know, odd. You know, some strange plays coming in from both these teams as Chak goes straight through the fire. He's got hot feet as he now tries to push through Dipan with the one frag on Jacob, and they've got to be careful they don't get this traded straight back. Boaster and Jenko, though, with a frag apiece as they make their entry into the site. Let's see what we've now got. Connor has got himself into drop down. Chak just against the door. Great spot here. So he's going to be able to deal with Keita if he steps through, but he decides not to mess around. And I think we need to see a little bit more of that in CS. If a smoke goes down or some footsteps, you know, just get in their face and ends up tilting so many players that just aren't expecting the old YOLO push. And it seems to work quite well, especially when you've got something like a Swag 7. Jenko gets one taken down Connor before he trades one out on Boaster. So it leaves Baith, last man in the drop down. Not really got enough time to do anything, you know, let alone take out these three players, get a defuse in. And I think for him, he's going to try and pick up an exit, maybe upgrade the Swag 7 to something else as he takes down Chak in the end in the mid. I think he's just going to keep the Swag 7 by the looks of it.
Well, I mean, Chak had the same, so it would have been swapping whatever skin he had for the Heat. I know some people might call skin to win, but I don't think it makes that much of a difference. So, as you said, going to be holding on to that, hoping he can get something started in the next round with it. But going to be left in another awkward position, in another position where Reason just really don't have the firepower to take this round through to anything. And unless we see huge flaws from CAZ's T side, it's looking like we're going to be seeing 14 rounds on the board for them at the moment. And honestly, it's a little bit surprising. Initially, though, we are going to be seeing some damage dealt on long as Baith comes in with the Mag 7 he held onto in the last round, finds himself too quickly. A nice trade there for the life of Keita to start things off. And a nice bit of pressure applied to CAZ from the offset. They're going to have to play the rest of this pretty clean now if they want any chance of picking it up, as it is just going to have to be frag on frag. We see Robin going for just that, and he manages it. Finds Connor. Nothing lost, and now going to be faced with the remaining two players as he enters the site. Nippon trying to hide, but just not doing a good enough job. Found pretty quickly and leaves just Liggy and Baith to get anything done. Unfortunately, at the moment, not looking like it's going to be happening, as it is just going to be Baith coming in on the rotate, trying to make something happen with the AK, but position known, 3 players against him. It's not looking good.
Nope, sure isn't, and he's going to fall away. CAZ 1 round now away from having overtime guaranteed after picking up their 14th round. So 14-9 it's going to be. Little chance to have a look at the scoreboard while we wait for the bomb to tick down. Robin leading the way, 22-11. Baith going to have some action straight away as he takes down Boaster, who is dropped there. And it's going to be, let's see, so Baith's got $6,200. So he's got enough money to put together at least 1 drop, maybe 2. The end of this round, as long as he keeps his weapon, which I think he has done. The rest of these guys, a bit of loss bonus. Yeah, okay. So full buy still going to be coming in from Reason. It's going to be an expensive one for most of these guys. Baith going to have the opportunity to put down a drop if needs be. Maybe just get that AWP onto the back of Sliggy. Make sure that he's got full armor and utility and all that kind of stuff. So there's no glass cannons out ready and on display just yet. So CAZ aren't going to have it super easy. See where Sliggy takes the AWP. It seems like there hasn't been a huge amount of aggro AWPing from the steps. Both these teams preferring to play it in a more passive way. Sliggy takes Chak down to half HP, but he's taken down 68 as well. So, interesting little trade. And for the boost as well. So Robin is going to be angling for this AWP if he steps again. Trying to open things up as we see a bit of a squeeze coming in from CAZ over towards the A site as well. Don't want to commit to anything just yet. Minute 15 left to go on the clock. One pick would pretty much open out this map. So many options. Picks over towards A. Oh, actually, Robin takes down Sliggy. That's the AWP down. And we now see the full action of these teams making their rotate over towards the B site. Slow things back up again. Go try and take drop-down control. You see Connor pulled away from that position, and Baith, nice work for his team though, brings it back even. Still advantage CAZ, you would suggest, but only narrowly now as Baith decides he wants to get out of dodge and drop to another position, but he's caught by Boaster, completely blind through the smoke, and he's got a bit lucky there, to be fair. Just hoping that that Molotov was going to flash out the player, and that's exactly what has happened. Connor now, what can he do? Well, it's Dippon doing some damage over towards the A site. So 25 seconds left to go, and CAZ needs to make a play somewhere, commit somewhere. Connor round about the fountain, he goes slow up as much as he can. He's got one, Connor's got two. Taking down Jack as well. Come on, Connor, bring it home. And he does. So 3 crucial frags from round about the fountain, and Reason just narrowly hanging in this thing.
Yeah, 10th round on the board. They do manage to stave it off just a little bit longer, and you gotta say, they sort of needed to keep themselves in the map at all. Had CAZ won that round, they would have been up against an extremely weak buy and would have had the perfect opportunity to just take it straight through to the victory. But saying that, it's going to be Reason in the same position again. It's another round they have to win if they want to have any chance in this game, as their economy still not looking so good, and CAZ going to be doing something that something that no team really does a huge amount, and heading over towards the A site instead this time, trying to throw a little bit of a curveball and just knock Reason off of their game. But once more, it's something I like to see. It's a nice slow round coming out to start things off. Initial damage not going in anyone's favor, particularly as both teams do manage to pick up a frag, trade things out, keep things even. The issue at the moment for CAZ, Robin has given his position away and is going to be hunted by many people, but he still manages to find Babe. And he is still going to be a presence. It forces Connor back into the site, but he's going to be the only man there, as we do see the majority of CAZ heading in that direction at the moment. So this could be their chance. This could be them taking that B site without too much of a fight being put up and establishing those positions they want for the afterplant. You've just got to hope that Reason figure it out sooner rather than later and manage to get some more bodies over. Right now, though, nothing found, and it looks like we're going to be seeing the push come in extremely soon. All 4 players from CAZ heading over to that B site now. It's going to be met with a little bit of resistance, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. Connor taken down quickly by Boaster. One more man left in Dippon, seeing what he can do with the AWP, but unfortunately, again, it's nothing. Robin, a little bit too quick with that headshot, manages to nullify him entirely. So it's Keita left. 1 versus 4 with the M4. And I doubt he's going to be going for this. It looks like an impossible situation, but he is going to be gifted, or at least it looked like he was going to be gifted a frag there. Jacob turns around, manages to take the player out and put CAZ on 15 quickly. Reason now in a position where they have to force up everything they can afford, and it's not going to be a pretty buy whatsoever. You can already see Deagles, CZs, P250s coming out, and a Mag 7 is the best weapon on the board for the CT side. They're going to have a tough time taking this one, though.
Yeah, that's an understatement, and they're actually going for a boost up here, possibly. Oh no, they've messed it up, and that Molotov's going to come in and make sure that, you know, there's no boost going to be coming in just yet. Good control from the terrorists of the drop down, and who would have thought that we'd be saying that? But, you know, that's exactly what has happened, and fair players. We now see the CAZ players round about the mid area. They try and make their play onto it. Now, I'm kind of, well, I'm not surprised, but you can maybe question why more teams don't try and work towards the A, as more often than not, the B, they'll stick 1 player there and 1 on the rotate. You know, and if you can take down that 1 player, you've got pretty much free reign of the site, I guess. But it's quite a scary prospect having 4 CTs rotating in from the other side, trying to charge at you. But I don't think it's going to cause any problems because Jenko, he's taking down Keita. Teammates going to come in and make their way towards the B, where they're going to have a free plant because these remaining 2 players, Deagles in hand, Sliggy and Baith, over towards the A site, and we're going to see CAZ bring this thing home almost definitely. 1-all for the map advantage. We see the plant go in. GG's already getting exchanged. Jenko takes down Sliggy, and he gets his 5-man. It was, in fact, as Baith goes down. Nice work there, and kind of against the grain as such, CAZ end up picking up a steal on Reason's map of Cobble.